Hello, so I am Elite 4 Niku from Team Adepts. I am one of the co-owners, and I will be making a Absol guide for those who are curious. So, for just qualifications, I've been Master every single season. It's saying that only one season is bug. I have a picture for it, but I've been Masters for every single season, and I have mained Absol for since day one of this game's release, and I am currently 1600 rating. I have played him in tournaments before, so I would like to give a bit of a guide. If this helps you out, please let me know. If there's anything missing or you feel that could be corrected, please also let me know. And every bit of interaction helps, so thank you very much. So over this guide, I'll be going over strengths and weaknesses of Absol, items, movesets, matchups, and laning versus center. Now, note that I do play Absol center. His meta is in the lane. I will be going over both of those. So yeah, I'll be going over both of those. Now, without further ado, let's start. So, strengths and weaknesses of Absol. So, he has a strong early game. That is a positive, right? He is a very strong snowballer. He is good at 1v1s. He is strong at objective secures, especially with the rework to Psycho Kite, as I'm sure many of you are aware of. He is a strong invader. He is good at invading other centers. He is strong at picking people off, and he has pretty dang strong spikes at level 5 when he picks up Night Slash, 7 when he picks up his other ability, depending on what he picks, and 9 when he gets his Unite move. Now, his cons is that he's a frail melee and he needs a front line. He cannot engage for the most part, unless you are just hilariously ahead in Ultimate Win More mode, you can't engage. Another one is that he hates crowd control. He hates it on him. Also, a little note, by the way, you can also full heal or Blissey safeguard off the Psycho Cut debuff if you time it properly, so worth noting. But anyways, the other thing is that he can be risky. He can be a risky pick. Any mobility ability can dodge Night Slash and prevent the reset, and the reset on it is what does a lot of damage. The second cast rather. The second, but he has to land the first one. Also, he is a little RNG dependent on crit. All of his abilities and autos can crit, and while there are certain safeguards in place to really ensure that he is mostly going to crit most of the time, things can happen, right? You can low roll or high roll. The other thing is he has a cleanup or execute playstyle in team fights. So yeah, he cannot engage. He needs prior damage applied. For the most part, and he typically has to choose between whether he's going for an objective secure or for a team fight damage. You can't use you typically in most cases will not be using your Unite on both the enemy and also to secure an objective simultaneously, like Dreadnought or Zapdos. There are obviously exceptions, but and things can happen obviously, but yeah, it's typically one or the other. So those are the strengths and weaknesses. Now, let's go over items. So, if I go to held items and I go to my Absol, so these are what I consider standard for center Absol, which is Scope Lens, increases the damage of basic attack critical hits, and the higher the focus attack, the more damage increases. So this is just, and this increases critical damage, critical hit rate, everything. Really, really good on him. Razor Claw, after you use a move, your next basic attack hits. It does extra damage. It also boosts your crit rate, and it also slows them a bit. It's just all around good. And you have Energy Amplifier. Energy Amplifier is sort of newer. It's a newer addition to Absol. It's because it's just so strong with objective secure with the Psycho Cut. So yeah, it's nice. Also lower cooldowns and all that stuff is just great. Now, something you can swap out for. If I wanted to swap out, something else you can swap out for is you can consider Focus Band. I would be careful just because Absol's so squishy. I would be careful. But because it's not going to be super good, but it can save you in a pinch. And attack weight if you are laning. Attack weight is really good if you're laning. Getting those extra attack stats every time you cap, up to a cap of 6 is really huge. So I would consider attack weight core if you are lane Absol. If you are center Absol, aka jungle, then yeah, I would not run attack weight because it is too inconsistent. But yeah. Now, as for movesets, going over Absol's moveset, Let's see here. So if we look at what Absol has, um, so we have basic attack, every third hit, whatever. Not a big deal. Super luck passive, just more crit. Cool. Okay, so here we have Night Slash and Pursuit. Night Slash is what you're always going to take, period. It's just really good. The thing with Pursuit is that it is not bad, it is inconsistent and unreliable, and you do not want that. So you have, in order for it to be worth it, you have to basic attack someone from behind. And if they do anything to turn at all whatsoever before you get that off, it's bad. Its win rate reflects. Its win rate is much lower, always has been. The Pursuit is just not reliable. It's too inconsistent, and you really do not want an inconsistent, because you don't really get multiple chances. So going off of that, then you have Slash into Psycho Cut or Sucker Punch. Now, with the rework to Psycho Cut, you will be taking it in probably 95-98% of cases. Psycho Cut is basically just going to add a lot of damage. You use it, and it's going to be a little bit of a slow, but it's mostly for just it's going to increase your damage on basically anything you hit them with. Basic attacks, your Night Slash, your Unite move, all of that will trigger it. In the third trigger will be really good. Now, Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch can do more damage in a 1v1. It could also allow a little more catch potential. It could be good for certain matchups like the Greninja matchup. It could be good for 1v1ing the Mirror. You will lose objective damage, and you will lose teamfight damage in return. It is generally not worth it over Psycho Cut, but there are use cases for it, and it is not something to rule out. And then you have your Unite move. Okay, so those are the movesets. Now I want to go over some matchups. Now, the big thing to note is matchups are always ever-changing. You can always have buffs, nerfs, whatever, reworks, right? They can bring out, new Pokemon, all that good stuff, right? But I will bring out some key things. One is Azumarill in a 1v1 is not someone you really want to mess with. I have been on both sides of that. I have played Azumarill, and I have walked up to an Absol who is a 2-level lead and just beaten them up really badly. It's Azumarill is made to 1v1, just team fight. Okay, just team fight. The other thing is the Zeraora matchup. Zeraora will be winning later on if they take the move that's I want to call it Alpha Strike, but it's not. But the move where Zeraora bounces around. It has invulnerability frames. If they take that, they can easily win a 1v1 versus you. Early on, you will dominate them, though. Zeraora is not super good early, but once they get that, you pretty much can get harassed by him pretty hard, and it's pretty rough to deal with him. Greninja is a very notable matchup in that most of them take Double Team because Double Team is just a much higher win rate, typically works better with Surf, all that good stuff, right? But Double Team, sorry, my bad. Smokescreen is what they take. My bad. They take Smokescreen most of the time, right? It works really well. Smokescreen works really well with Surf. If you take if they take Smokescreen, that's actually advantageous for you, and Greninja is much easier to deal with. If they take Double Team, you pretty much have to disengage or play the lucky guessing game if they play it properly. Now, a poorly played Double Team Greninja is not too threatening, but a Greninja that knows how to time Double Team properly can be very vicious. And a notable, I am going to make a notable call out for Cinderace. If Cinderace feints your Night Slash properly and then gets backup and peel from their team, that can be rough for you. Now, in a 1v1, Cinderace should not be hard for you at all whatsoever. You're an assassin, it's Cinderace. But in a team fight setting, if a Cinderace feints your Night Slash or feints your Unite or something like that, and has a backup team to help peel and shield them, it's just something to watch out for. I'm not saying Cinderace is a super hard matchup. What I'm saying is it's something that you have to pay attention to. Now, I'm going to go over laning and then the jungle path. So, laning considerations. So, first off, I don't lane Absol too much. I mostly play at center. I know the meta is laning, but you can play them both. But things to consider when you're laning with Absol, one, you don't really have built-in recovery, not until later on, at way later levels. the main thing you're going to be doing is attack weight capping, and you're just going to try to do the whole handshake thing, cap, 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 just cap a couple points, cap a couple of points, just get a couple points and cap, try to get that worked up. If you get 6 attack weight stacks very early on, fantastic, you're golden. When bees spawn, when the comb bee and Vespiquen spawn in the middle of your lane, you're going to want to you're going to want to basically try to contest that, but be very cautious, as that is a prime time for centers to gank. If your center is there, the enemy center is there, all that stuff. Just be very aware and be ready to disengage, and all that good stuff. Oh, something I meant to also bring up with items is battle items, and this is probably a good time to bring it up for landing as well. You have basically 4 options. You have full heal, which is generally good. It's pretty much always an option. If you feel like CC is not a big issue because you have like a Blissey who will be safeguarding you often, then you can consider other options. Fluffy Tail is a fantastic item for objective secure. However, that is if your team super ultra just needs you to be objective bot control. It can be really good, but it can also be kind of pointless or overkill type of thing. So that is a situationally very good. X attack just gives you more damage. Again, that is sometimes overkill, but that is sometimes good for team fighting. If your team just needs some extra damage in a team fight, they don't have it all covered, then yes, go an X attack. And finally, you have eject button. And eject button, I would say, is probably pretty good for laning. Just to help you survive a bit more and get those scores. And I wouldn't really go with Goal Getter. It's been nerfed too much, but you can like maybe consider it. But it's been nerfed a lot. Slow Smoke isn't bad, but you would probably prefer someone else to take it. Back when Slow Smoke was meta before they nerfed it, then it would be fine to take it on him because everyone took it and stacked the hell out of it. It was Slow Smoke and full heal. After that's been nerfed, not really something to consider. You don't need X speed on Absol. You're already a speedy boy. You don't need more. And if you take potion, please don't. So yeah. Okay. So finally, the other thing to consider. So let's see here. The final thing to consider is I want to show what a clear looks like. Just some considerations. I know that clearing the center is not particularly hard on Absol, but there's a couple of things that I would just like to point out. So I'm going to go into a practice match, I'm going to go into a practice area, and I am going to pick Absol. And it's summertime, so let's do this. So now the thing that I also want to state is that depending on whether you're going to be ganking top first or ganking bot first, or if you're undecided, that will, depending on circumstances, that will adjust whether you go towards top or bot. So you can path top or bot, you can path up or down, there's different ways to do it. You can basically do your 4 camps in just about any order, but what I want to show is, so I'm going to feint over the wall and hit the lily pup, right? And so when I feint over the wall, I take this. So what I want to do is not like that. I want to, so that was me showing it incorrectly. I was too busy talking, but I'm going to show it. So that actually shows you what not to do there. Okay, that shows you what not to do. Now I want to show you what to do here. I'm going to auto slash, and I'm going to feint behind. And you see how the Bouffalon charges into the wall? That increases your clear speed. Or sorry, decreases your clear speed. It makes it better. Your clear speed is better. So you want, so I showed you what not to do with the Ludicolo where it sprayed me. Now, that HP is back up. It's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal on the Ludicolo. I slashed at nothing, didn't hit the core fish. You know, I'm pushing on talking, right? But the main thing to note is the way to do the Bouffalon, and I'm going to show it again. I'm going to show it again because I think this is the biggest thing I want to show with my clear. You can do your 4 camps in just about any order depending on where you want to do. If they have an invading gradient or something like that, you do want to take that into account and maybe take your core fish a bit earlier that they might go on. But I want to show this. So I'm going to bait the Bouffalon to charge into this wall, and then I'm going to not take the damage from it as well. So watch, I'm going to do this, Night Slash to the other side, and like that. So if you saw, the Bouffalon didn't go way out here. I wasn't chasing it around. I wasn't losing uptime on auto attacks, right? It smacks right into the wall, and I use my Night Slash to go through it, hit it for the reset, go to the other side, and dodge that. Now, if you mess up this clear, it's not the end of the world, but it will save up a couple seconds, and that can make or break some games, so it's just it's those little min-maxes that help. At the end of the day, your clear can also just be increased or decreased by crits, so you might shave off a couple of seconds or increase a couple of seconds depending on that. So it's not the end of the world if you mess up, but the little things can add up over time. I hope this helps. So final thing is please consider a like, please consider a subscribe, please consider a share, please comment. And please tell me what you if this helps you or not, and I will see you guys hopefully when we next stream. Stream times are loaded in our About tab, but they are Pacific time, Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. That is Pacific time. See you guys then. Thank you very much.